again, everyone, and welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if this is your first time joining me today. Hi, my name is Anna. I make a lot of storytime videos, sometimes about places I've worked, sometimes about just other weird stuff that's happened to me, but either way, hi, that's what I do here. I also make other weird videos sometimes, just like random stuff, whatever I'm feeling at the moment. My hair got stuck in my lipstick. But anyway, that's what I do here if you are new. But anyway, just a couple of disclaimers. I know the lighting in here is terrible. I am sorry. I thoroughly apologize. But I do have a Patreon down below that you can check out if you want to contribute. Any money that I get from that Patreon, I will be using to get a actual camera, an actual microphone, some actual lighting, because I am very aware of the things that are lacking on my channel. But of course, you do not have to contribute at all. I am so happy that you are here just viewing and subscribing to my channel, so do not feel pressured to donate to that. That is just something that is out there if anybody is interested. But without further ado, let's get into the story time. So this story is about something unfortunate that happened to me about a month ago. As some of you may know, I do not have a job right now. I do go to college though, and I will graduate in about a year, but I've been desperately looking for a part-time job just because I'm tired of being broke, and I like working. I'm tired of not having a job. Like, I just feel lazy, and I really just want a job somewhere. I really wish I could go back to Victoria's Secret, but they won't hire me back. I don't know why, because I picked up like everybody's shift, but anyway, that's irrelevant. So about a month ago, I got a tip from my mom that a lady whose mom used to go to our church, this lady had dementia and Alzheimer's and stuff, and she really needed someone to sit with this lady for like, well, at first she told me that it would be about 4 hours a day. I just want to make it clear that the lady who contacted my mom is the woman who has dementia's daughter. It's that lady's daughter. And the lady had that daughter. She had two sons other than just her. And one of the sons lives like one city away from their mom. So, and bear in mind, their mom lives in the town that I used to live in, but I now live 45 minutes away, and at the time I lived about 25 or 30 minutes away. So actually right now I'm closer to an hour away because the house that we moved to is kind of way out. But anyway, so at the time I had no qualms with doing this. She needed somebody to sit for about 4 hours a day, 4 or 5 hours. And you know, that seemed right up my alley. All I would really have to do is sit and talk to the lady, help her make some food, help her if she drops something she needs me to clean or pick it up, etc. It was not meant to be anything super strenuous. It was not meant to be a cleaning job, anything of that nature. That was stress to me. Now, it was also told to me that this lady, the elderly woman, she had two small dogs, and I was told that these dogs were able to go outside and do their business and come right back inside, and I wouldn't really have to deal with them. All I would have to do is make sure that they had food and that they were let in and out. That's all I was told I would have to do with the dogs. The thing that I was mostly there to do was to sit with this lady and keep her company and make sure that nothing bad happened. So I was like, sure, that's great. And initially, the lady told me that I would be sitting with her mother from about 11 a.m. until 3 or 4 in the afternoon. That was originally what she told me. So I was like, yeah, sure, I would definitely be interested in that. I've known this elderly lady my entire life. My family has been good friends with their family, so, you know, and she offered me $10 an hour, so I figured, hey, this will be a great way to make some extra money and help out somebody who has been a really good family friend for as long as I can remember, since before I was even born. So, you know, it was just an all-around, sounded like a great situation. So, the first day rolls around, and about the day or two before I first started, sorry, my chokers keep sliding down, this is so old, but anyway, about a day or two before I was supposed to start, the lady's daughter calls me, and she said, hey, I really need you to be there from about 1 in the afternoon until about 8 or 8:30 at night, because the elderly lady's pills are set on a timer and they come out at 8 o'clock. And so I was like, oh, that's not really what I was expecting it to be, and I really don't want to do that, but I'll try it out. And so I said, okay, you know, I'll try it out, but keep in mind that I am about to move and I will not be able to stay with her for that amount of time. Like, I just won't, because that was like directly before we moved to this house. So I was like, hey, I am really not going to be able to do that every single day. But anyway, so the first day comes around and I stay and I talk to the lady on the phone, and she said, hey, remember, mom's pills drop at 9 o'clock. I was like, 9 o'clock? You told me 8 o'clock. What do you mean? So I was just like very confused, and I was like, okay. So anyway, I talked to her some more that same day, and I was like, hey, it's getting dark outside. This was like around 6 or 6:30. I was like, hey, it's getting dark outside. You know, I don't really feel comfortable driving in the dark that much. And especially the distance that it's gonna be. So like, I'm really not gonna be able to do this every single day. Like, I'm not gonna be able to come here. This was supposed to be 5 days a week, keep in mind. I was like, I'm not gonna be able to drive the, if I would have stayed on right now at this house, it would have taken me an hour to drive there and then an hour to drive back. So just imagine the gas that would take also. And I was like, hey, I'm not gonna be able to stay until like 8 or 9 o'clock, especially when we move. Like, I am not gonna be able to do that every single day. I'm not. Like, I just can't do it. I'm sorry, you're gonna have to find somebody else to do it. Because, and I was really polite about it. I was like, hey, thank you so much for this opportunity, but I'm not gonna be able to do this. Especially when I found out that day that this lady's 2 dogs do not go outside. They pee and poop in the house, and I would be the one to clean it, because this older lady cannot bend down and try to clean up pee or poop or anything like that. She can't do it. So I was just like, hey, I'm not down for this. Like, this is not, I can't do this like this. I can do it for the 4 hours. I can stay until 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon if you just need somebody to sit with her at all. Because I know that it would be better for you to have somebody here for a little while than to have nobody here all day. Because when she first approached me for this job, she told me nobody is going in there to check on my mother. So I was like, oh my gosh, okay. And so I told her, I said, hey, I'm not going to be able to stay here until 8 or 9 o'clock at night. I just cannot do that. Because for one thing, my boyfriend doesn't want me driving in the dark like that for such a long distance. I don't feel comfortable with that. It's just a lot of gas money. Like, I love this elderly lady to death. I love her to death. And if I lived closer, I would have definitely stayed on, even though her dogs did poop and pee in the house. You know, I would stay on for her sake. The only reason I took this job, period, was for her sake. Like, I did not feel comfortable with the way that things were going. And mind you, this whole entire day that I was there, the daughter kept adding on and adding on things that I was supposed to be doing. She was like, okay, well, you need to do this and this and this, and it was stuff that we had never discussed. And so I kind of felt like it was sort of a bait and switch tactic, because she told me I would have this simple job, but then when I got there, she wanted me to be pet sitter, housekeeper, all of this stuff, and I was just not down for it. And it's just like, how can you expect somebody to just be okay with you adding on all of these things? So while I did have a lovely day with that elderly lady that day, it was a good day. I was looking forward, because I thought that her daughter would still allow me to come for 4 or 5 hours a day. Like, she didn't have anybody else, and I figured, you know, I don't want this lady to be alone. I will come and sit with her for 4 or 5 hours a day. It's really no problem. I just can't stay that late into the night. And this whole time I had told this lady, I told her daughter, the elderly lady's daughter, I told her all of that. And she didn't respond to me for a while, but at about 10 o'clock, I think, she called me. I was at home. She called me, and she was like livid. Like, I mean, I did not expect that when I picked up the phone. She was livid. Basically, she was like, how can you do this to me? You were the only person who was gonna help Mom, and who was gonna sit there with her, and I thought that you were just answering all of my prayers, and like, we're all so disappointed in you, and I can't believe that you did this to me. And I'm just like, okay, first of all, I am very sorry that I am not able to stay this late at night. I explained to you why. I explained to you all of the reasons. I told you I'm not comfortable with it. And I also offered to still come and stay with her for 4 or 5 hours a day like we had initially talked about. And she was like, well, if you weren't going to be able to stay until like 8 or 9 at night, you shouldn't have taken the job. I don't even know why you took the job then. And I was just like, because I told you I can do the 4 or 5 hours, but I can't stay that late at night. I just can't do it. It's not fair of you to ask me to do that, and to then add on all of these things over and over and over just all day, things that I still need to be doing, especially with the dogs and stuff, which I was told could go out and in and I wouldn't have to deal with that. But here we are. So she's going on and on and on, and I'm pretty much apologizing the whole time. Look, I'm really sorry. I still want to do something for you, but I cannot do it to this extent. I cannot stay this late. Like, I can't do it. So she's still going off at me. She's like, how dare you do this to me? You're never going to find another job this good. It's $10 an hour. You are a college student and you're broke and you don't have a job and you can't find a job. And I'm like, okay, first of all, I came at you with nothing but respect. I came at you with nothing but respect and love and apology. I didn't come at you like, how dare you add on all of these things all day long of me that I should be doing that we never discussed at first. How can you add that stuff on and then still be mad at me for coming at you with love, positivity, and respect and apologies? I knew that what she was telling me was just baloney. Like, it's baloney. There's no way that you could just sit here and yell at me when you've been doing all these things all day, saying that I need to be doing. And it was terrible. And I was like, okay, what gives you the right to yell at me like this? I don't know. And so I basically told her, hey, I'm sorry. I was just repeating myself the whole time. I was like, hey, I'm sorry. Love your family. Love your mom. Like, love them to death. But I'm not going to sit here and let you talk to me like this. I can't do this for you. So either you can take me for 4 or 5 hours, somebody there with your mother for 4 or 5 hours, or you can do what you did before and have nobody there. Because I am telling you, this is not happening. I'm not staying until 8 or 9 at night. It's not going to happen. So you can either take me for half of the day, a good chunk of the day, or you can just do like before and nobody will be there. Because, like, I can't do it. I'm just telling you. And her story changed so much, like, through the course of this whole ordeal, that I don't even hardly know what she actually wanted from me. That's how much she changed it. At first it was 4 or 5 hours a day. Then it was from like 1 until 9 or 10 o'clock at night. I don't know what she wanted because every time I talked to her, she said something different. So how is that fair to me? It's not. So how dare you come at me, yelling at me for not wanting to deal with an ever-changing schedule? That is insane. Like, that's just crazy. You can't do that. And, you know, she was like, well, Mom doesn't need to be, you know, cleaning her own house, and I need somebody there to clean and to, like, take care of the dogs and to put the dogs in their kennel and to put Mom to bed because, like, she can't put herself to bed. And I'm like, you never told me this. You never told me the dogs would have to go up. You never told me I would need to put Mom to bed. Like, I don't know how to do that. She's an adult. If I put her to bed and leave, she can get up. I don't know what you want me to do. I understand that it is difficult to deal with a parent who has Alzheimer's, dementia, etc. However, you do not take out your denial, anger, and rage on a person who is trying to help you. I understand that I was not capable of doing the things that she needed me to do. And that is because she told me something different, and then once I was there, changed her story completely and said that she needed all of this stuff. Because initially, I was just told, hey, I need you for 4 or 5 hours a day to just be there with Mom, sit with her, talk with her, you know, make sure the dogs come in and outside. Like, it's fine. Like, that's all you have to do. But then once I get there, it's pick up after the dogs, pick up the dogs pee and poop, put Mom to bed, put the dogs in their kennel, stay for like 8 hours. No, what the heck? Like, if that's not what we agreed on, that's not what I'm gonna do. I am so sorry about it, but I told you what I could do for you, and if you don't like it, you can just say no thank you. You don't have to go off and berate me to the point of tears, which I was. I cried after we hung up on the phone. You don't have to do that, especially with the history that our families have with one another. We are very close families, and it is actually insane that she decided to speak to me that way. So basically, I called my mom, I told her everything that happened. She was absolutely shocked, as was I, and she thought it was completely unfair the way that this lady had spoken to me. And I thought it was unfair too, because I was being extremely polite and nice and telling her, hey, this is something that I just can't do. I can't swing it. I'm 19. Well, I'm 20 now, but I was 19. Like, I don't have the proper experience, I guess, to deal with all of this that you're suddenly needing me to do. And I'm so sorry about it, but I can't do it. So basically, my mom called and talked to her. And they both agreed that the way that she had spoken to me was completely out of line, and everything about it was just totally out of line. And as far as I know, we're not really on speaking terms at this point, which is actually crazy because I really, really wanted to help. I really, really feel for this family. Like, I feel really bad about this whole situation because, like, I really wanted to help. But this daughter was asking so much. She was asking so much and changing her story every 5 minutes that it's just not something that's worth it to me. Like, I would have been so willing to sit with this lady for 4 or 5 hours, and probably even more than that if it hadn't been for all of the extra stuff that her daughter was adding on to it. It's just crazy, and she was so unwilling to hear me out about not being able to drive that late at night for that distance that it would be. It just was a bad situation, and I really hope that you guys understood what I was saying in this video. I feel like I've been super all over the place, but I was just really trying to, like, make you understand what happened in this whole situation. Thank you guys once again so much for joining me again today. Leave me a like if you like this video, comment down below, and subscribe because I make new videos every Monday and Friday. Thank you guys once again so much for joining me today, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!